as we venture into motherhood, we all have the best intentions to parent with a razor-sharp focus on bettering our children's lives. So joining us with how to be more mindful in our approach is Katherine Sellery, founder of the Conscious Parenting Revolution. Katherine, so good to see you. And I know that you have 5 principles that really encompass conscious parenting. First of all, explain quickly what conscious parenting is, and then let's just dive right into the tips.
Fantastic. So conscious parenting, unlike unconscious parenting, doesn't just focus on my experience of you breaking down and how much that's upsetting to me. It's pivoting away from my experience of the breakdown to, this is the tragic expression of my child's unmet needs. If they could have, they would have managed to bring themselves under emotional control. They can't. They're drowning. When people are drowning, don't teach them how to swim. So what can I do to support them and recognize that there's an underlying unmet need?
And as parents, we just want to give our children everything that we can. So let's start with your first tip that you have for us, and that is about seeing kids for who they are. Talk about that.
Exactly. So we get triggered, and parents often forget that their kids have their own quirks and preferences and boundaries, and those can conflict with us, and sometimes we make them wrong for that. So our task isn't to raise clones of ourselves, but it is to help your child grow and develop into their own unique individuals.
I like that. Now, the next principle is building our children up. What are some everyday practices that you have for this?
So the best thing to do is not praise them. So praise leads to an external locus of causality, and what do you think of me and what do other people think and how can I please the whole world? The best thing you can do is acknowledge your child. So you seemed pleased with this. Did you know you could do this? I'm proud for you, not I'm proud of you. Congratulations. So you build them up through acknowledgement.
That's so interesting, and it's so true. Just like these little shifts in our conversations with our children can be huge. Walk us through some of the other steps that you have for us, Katherine.
So explain your reasoning. If you're the kind of parent who just says, because I said so, because I'm your mother, right? That whole idea. It's the power over approach. And power over activates retaliation, rebellion, and resistance, the proverbial 3 R's. So we don't want to have breakdowns in our relationships. And we do that when we demand obedience and compliance. We want children to learn to be considerate, but not to be obedient and compliant. And there's actually a big difference. So explain your reasoning so that they can become like, oh, okay, I get that. I understand that. Not just do it. This is huge. And then be flexible. Every child is different. Some children are what we call the belongers. Some children are autonomous, self-determining, and they're not going to do it because you said so. And they're actually going to say, make me. Or, okay, fine, I love my room. I'll stay there for the rest of my life. I never liked that stupid dessert. So if you're going to use power over, it won't work. With those kids, it will never work. With a belonger, they may do it, but they would have done it anyway. Because they do actually, everybody wants to please their parents. But when we start to mix up support, collaboration, consideration with obedience and compliance, then we're talking about 2 completely different ways of raising children.
Katherine Sellery, we could clearly talk for hours on this topic. I think people definitely need to connect with you on your website, KatherineSellery.com, for more information on conscious parenting, something that we're all striving for. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much. Great to be here.
All right. Happy holidays. And
Thank you. You too.
Stay where you are because we've got the final moments of Good Morning Washington next.